The first time I played Undertale was a few years after its release, and I loved it so much that I played both the genocide and pacifist route. But even after all that, I was still a casual fan, because I didn't really pay attention to much of the lore of the world. To be fair, I was a kid, and I hated reading at the time. But recently I discovered deltarune and played through it several times. And now that I have a deeper understanding of the lore in that world, I wanted to go back to the lore of Undertale, to see just how much I was missing. And spoiler, I was missing a lot.
And yes, longtime fans, new fans to this 10-year-old game do still exist, and always will for as long as Undertale itself exists.
When I did that first deltarune video, everyone thought I was Patrick under the rock for decades. I actually just didn't know it existed. I'm chronically online. Apparently I'm not that chronically online. I hate to say it.
I will also not be covering the various neutral endings or neutral deaths, or the many different dialogue possibilities in scenes like Flowey confronting you after the Toriel fight, or Sans' judgment in the last corridor, or the many papyrus phone calls throughout the game, unless they're important.
That's crazy because I don't even remember getting a phone call in the entirety of the time I played Undertale. Maybe I just ignored it or forgot it because it wasn't important. Like, seeing these lore videos and seeing all the other different Undertale videos, there's so many different things that just have a RNG chance of happening that I didn't think was possible because I thought it was like a linear story with like 3 or 4 main paths.
When naming the fallen human, if you try to enter the names of several characters from the game, the usual "is this name correct" message will be replaced with the character commenting on your choice of name, and some of them, like Sans, just won't let you use it. But by far the most important of these is the name Kara. Or some people pronounce it Kara or Chara,
I do
but
say
it
Kara.
seems to just be short for character, so that's the pronunciation. Remember, you're not actually naming the character you play as here. That's Frisk. So what happens if you try to put in the name Frisk? Well, that gives you the ominous message, "Warning, this name will make your life hell. Proceed anyway." And then puts you into hard mode.
It has
In
a hard mode?
All the monsters get replaced with harder versions of themselves. Frogget,
Really?
Lunesen, and Luke.
Whoa! There's a difficulty for Undertale? I didn't know that. I thought the hard mode was genocide route because the bosses were harder and then you have to fight Sans at the end, which is hard.
And the others all get new variants. Moldsmal becomes Moldessa, Vegetoid becomes Parsnick, and Mygosp becomes Mygosp.
Jesus Christ, that looks
If
disgusting.
you listen to the OST at all, and if you haven't, what are you even doing with yourself?
Okay,
and
my
wonder
bad,
where the
Jesus.
song Stronger Monsters plays, this is where. Also, you can't run from battles on the first turn, and Toriel gives you a snail pie instead of the much stronger butterscotch pie.
What?
But then after you fight her, the annoying dog.
I thought the butterscotch pie was like her trademark, bro. What is this dollar store tutorial with a snail pie?
That's the end of hard mode, and then we get a message saying to not expect hard mode to ever be finished.
Oh, is that why I didn't know that the hard mode didn't exist? It only exists for the first, like, slight act? That's kind of a funny gimmick, but I kind of do want to see a hard mode for the rest of the game. Like, what if they just made Megalovania super hard, you know, like an even harder mode?
If you go back and sleep in your bed after the fight with Toriel, you have a dream about the moments before Kara's death, the same scene that we hear in the True Lab tapes. This could be someone's first hint that the game over dialogue is more diegetic than it seems at first, but most players wouldn't think to do this.
I don't remember
Similarly,
this
if
at
you
all.
go back, moving on to Snowden, there's actually a ton to talk about with, of all things, the ball game.
How?
If you tried this a few times, you may have noticed that you get a different colored flag and description of your performance depending on how well you do.
No,
But
not
where
at
this
all.
gets really interesting is if you manage to win in 6 seconds or less, which is really hard, but it gives you a red flag and this intriguing message: bravery, justice, kindness,
Whoa.
integrity,
Whoa.
perseverance, patience. Using these, you were able to win at ball game.
I will keep saying this over and over. Toby is a genius, and I will always think forever he's a genius. Because there's just so many different, like, unique cases that he is accounting for. He already knew what players would do. He knew what they would limit test and break. And he knew what to, like, put in there for, like, little tidbits of lore, like, to reward them and make them, like, search for even more, right? To go even more depth. And I think that's awesome. I don't even remember the ball game. You would think it wouldn't matter at all. You just want to get the ball in the hole, that's it.
The colors of each of these words correspond to each of the different colored flags you can get, which are also the 6 colors used for different unique gameplay elements, which are also the same colors as the 6 human souls that Asgore has. The weapons used in each of the soul phases are actually the same weapons you can find and equip throughout the game, indicating that these weapons and their corresponding armor all belonged to one of the previous fallen humans.
Ooh,
Putting all of this
this makes
together,
sense.
there's actually a decent amount we can learn about the 6 of them. Light blue, patience. Ball is small. You waited still for this opportunity, then dethroned Ball with a sharp attack.
Jesus, okay.
Light blue attacks won't hurt you if you're standing still. This human carried the toy knife and wore the faded ribbon that we find on the floor in the ruins. Purple, perseverance. Even when you felt trapped, you took notes and achieved the end of Ball.
I legitimately think I don't know anything about the previous humans. The only thing I know now is Kara and Yellow, because Undertale Yellow. I guess it was a cowboy with the toy gun. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's what I know as of now.
This human carried the torn notebook
Gerson!
and wore the cloudy glasses that we can buy from Gerson in Waterfall. Kindness. Your concern and care for Ball led to a delicious victory. Undyne turns your soul green, giving you a shield. This human carried the burnt pan and wore the stained apron that we find on the floor in Hotland.
Green the
Blue,
chef,
integrity.
yes.
Hopping and twirling, your original style pulled you through. It's Papyrus's blue attack, which makes you have to hop around. This human wore the dusty tutu and ballet shoes.
Whoa, what the hell did I just see this man go
Attack.
through? How do you... Well, I guess it does look kind of weird, but you just walk
Or
through
the
it and then that counts? You know what? I guess in every game there's always something under the waterfall. Maybe I should have known that. So with Deltarune Chapter 5, spoilers, obviously. Again, alternate universe, I understand that. So they more directly show that in Deltarune. Like, they show the actual people. Maybe not personality-wise, right? Because Toby's just being goofy. But they show what each human was like, right? Because, I mean, green was a chef. Seth, purple, glasses nerd, whatever. Yellow, cowboy, wants to die at every inconvenience possible. Blue was a ballerina. Orange was a mouse with a boxing glove. I don't know what that has to do with anything yet. But, okay, that's cool. Man, Toby did such a great job of doing the parallel for the universes. It's sick.
If you edit the code to place an echo flower in the room where you find the ballet shoes, there's this dialogue suggesting that this is actually where this human died, which is fun.
How would anyone know how to do that? You have to find part of it in the code to put it there, and it unlocks new dialogue. How do you know how to do that if you don't just do trial and error, or you stare at the confines of the code and syntax for hours upon hours? That sounds ridiculous. Again, I didn't even know you could, like, edit the code of Undertale to, like, add in these things.
Justice. Your surefire accuracy put an end to the mayhem of Ball. Being yellow turns you into a gun. You are the kind of person who rushes fist first through all obstacles.
Okay, that
Orange
makes
attacks
sense.
won't. There is also a different line if you get the red flag more than once. Try as you might, you continue to be yourself. This obviously corresponds to your soul being red, but when you factor in the fact that the final armor set, the worn dagger and heart locket, or the real knife and the locket in Genocide, clearly belonged to Kara, this has led many fans to assume that Kara's soul was red as well.
Was that not a given? The six souls aren't accounting for Kara, right? I just assumed Frisk and Kara both had the same red soul, and I didn't think that had any importance. I just thought red heart is normal because hearts are red. I don't know. I didn't really think about it way back when I was, young lad.
Trait of determination to the red soul specifically, but that is a thing that all human souls are said to have. But then again, you could argue that all human souls have some amount of all of these 6 other traits in them too, so I don't know. It's pretty widely accepted fanon though. There aren't any red attacks in the game though, unless you count Asgore's trident when he breaks the mercy button, which
what if Asgore's trident is Kara's soul? I don't know, I'm sorry. I'm gonna become one of those conspiracy theories in the fandom, just spewing a random bullshit as much as I can, hoping it sticks.
The books in the library actually have some very important...
I don't even think I went to the library in the game. I don't know where this location is. I hated reading as a kid. I still hate reading, but I like it more in games. So it makes sense I just never went to this. This was nightmare fuel for me back in the day.
Monster bodies are mostly made of magic, which means their bodies are more attuned to their souls than humans are, despite monster souls being much weaker than human souls. Did you know that if a monster is letting you spare it, but you choose to fight it instead, it takes way more damage?
I never knew that.
This is why.
No.
Monsters not having much physical form is also why they don't bleed most of the time, and why they turn to dust when they die. They do still hold...
Oh, that's cool that there's a lore reason for that. Again, young me was just like, they die, disintegration, bye.
Funerals for dead monsters, though, but since there's no body, what they do is sprinkle the monster's dust on their favorite thing, and then, here's the really important part, that monster's essence, whatever that means, will live on in that thing. This is crucial to understanding how Azrael became Flowey. When a wounded Azrael returned from the surface, some of the seeds of the golden flowers on the surface stuck to him, and scattered across Asgore's garden along
Ooh.
with Asriel's dust when he died.
Oh my
So
god,
his
Jesus.
essence lived on in the flowers that grew from those seeds. And when one of those flowers was injected with determination, the will to live, Asriel's essence came alive with it, giving the flower his memories and, for a time, his personality.
That is just so crazy to me, because I knew Azrael's Flowey because, I did the true pacifist route. I think I just thought it was the simple thing of, oh, he was a boy, and then he got turned into a flower by, evil magic. Again, I didn't really think anything through. I just thought that the music was great and the fights were cool. That's really about it. I didn't really think much deeper than that, okay? Frontal lobe was not developed. It's still developing right now, too, but that is a crazy way to be rebirthed. I don't know.
If you didn't read the text on the walls covering the human monster war, then that's your own fault. They're like half the point of this entire area.
Welp.
The most prominent secret here is Temi Village, which if you didn't find, you probably at least read the name on a sign. They do weird things like wait for a hard-boiled egg to hatch and stare at you creepily from a crack in the wall. There's also the Tem Shop, the only place where you can sell items and where you can get the best armor in the game. If you pay 1,000 gold for Tem to go to Kalig,
what the hell?
she'll come back with the ability to make Temi armor, which costs 9,999 gold.
Brother, I have to pay rent. I don't have that kind of money around here. What are we talking about? Can you get that much money normally? Because doesn't that mean you have to farm a shit ton? I don't really know how much money you get per spare or whatever, or if you can sell anything for money.
Unless you've died a lot, which Temi somehow knows, and will lower the price down to 750 gold, depending on how many times you've died.
That's nice of you.
The armor gives you 20 defense, 10 attack, more invincibility frames after being hit, and heals 1 HP every other turn.
Damn!
So if you want battles to be really easy and are willing to grind for gold, this is the way to go.
Okay, but that's baby mode. If you're doing the pacifist route, that's just that makes it boring. I guess that's more helpful in the genocide route, but again, don't be a baby. Stop it. Although it sounds really cool.
You can't get it in genocide, though.
Oh,
one more thing I want to mention here. There are several rooms throughout the game where if you backtrack a little before actually leaving the room, you'll briefly see Flowey stalking you.
Ooh,
the most interesting of which are in Waterfall. In this room with the Echo Flowers, if you talk to the Echo Flower that he was next to, you'll actually hear Flowey taunting you with memories of Toriel, with what he says changing slightly depending on whether you spared or killed her. Unless you're doing genocide, in which case it says nothing like all the rest. There's also a cut room in Waterfall where an NPC hidden in tall grass would ask you to do something about your friend with the creepy smile, and then when you talk to them again, they wonder where your friend went. So it's probably Flowey, but that's not totally confirmed, and it was cut anyway, so whatever.
Wait, okay, how do you know that these rooms are cut? What defines a cut room? It's in the code? Someone found it and it's not actually in the game? How do people get the footage of this? Or is it it was in the game originally and then Toby made an update and removed it later? It's just so fascinating to me how deep the fandom is, that they even just go into the files and search for whatever. It's impressive to me, because I wouldn't even know where to start.
You may have noticed this mystery key that Braddy and Caddy are selling, wondered what it went to, noticed you didn't have enough money for it, and then promptly forgot about it.
That's exactly what happened.
Many players at first think of the mysterious door in Snowdin and try the key there, which the game teases you for. Don't worry, we'll get back to that door in a bit. Where it actually goes is the house next to Napstablook's, inside which are diaries that belong to Napstablook's cousin, another ghost who we learn was not planning on
is that Pink? Is that Pink's room? I remember people telling me Pink was a ghost, right? I don't remember what the 3 ghosts were. It was Napstablook, the dummy ghost, the practice dummy ghost, I think. I don't know what their name is, though.
Not planning on trying to find a body to fuse with until they met Alphys, who offered to create for them the kind of body they thought they could only dream of. And that's how Metaton came to be.
Oh, Metaton was the ghost. Was there 4 ghosts? I don't remember. Is Pink Metaton in the alternate universe? Oh god, my brain hurts. I don't know. I'm just gonna stop thinking.
Alphys was able to trick Asgore into thinking that she had made a robot with an artificial soul, which is what got her the job as the royal scientist, when in reality, it was just a ghost fused with a robot body. Or maybe not actually.
Okay, no, that is Pink, right? Because the Kakarot body is a robot body, isn't it?
Hey, did you know that Undertale has a secret boss? Well, in the
Huh?
MTT Resort, you can find a secret sign promoting an art club on the second floor of
What the?
Hotland.
Again, what did I just watch? How do you know just to
Bodies
walk
and
through
everything.
that one square
Hey, did you know
pixel?
that, sure enough, just to the north of the room where you find the stained apron, there's an invisible path that leads you up to a small room with a sign saying that Art Club
Bruh.
meets on October 10 at 8 p.m. If that is the exact date and time on your computer or console's clock, the one and only Art Club member will rush in and accidentally start a battle with you.
Whoa,
this is
what?
so sorry, and he's one of the few characters in this game created by high-paying Kickstarter backers. The others are Muffet and another secret enemy called Glide, who you can encounter by walking around the room in Snowden with the mysterious door for
Whoa.
several minutes.
Wait, oh, that's awesome. They added Kickstarter bosses, or not bosses, Kickstarter enemies is sick. I kind of forgot Undertale was a Kickstarter game. I mean, Toby did it himself. I didn't know that at all, and you have to have that time on your computer? I wonder if Deltarune has anything like that. I feel like Deltarune probably has something like that, right? Where you have to have a specific time or something. Maybe no one's figured that out yet. I feel like Deltarune is still like relatively new, especially with the chapter releases being so spread out throughout the years where people haven't found everything. Chapter 4 and Chapter 5 are like the most recent ones, so I don't know if they've been fully discovered or not.
There are a few more songs in the OST that you either probably or definitely didn't hear in the game. Uaso Temperate, Uaso Holiday, and Uaso Heats play in the settings menu, with the one that plays depending on what season it is IRL.
Jesus, Toby, how many things did you put in the game dealing with real life stuff? That's awesome, but once again, I didn't think the game was this much in depth. These are like such small and unique details. I feel like most of the player base don't pay attention to. And probably when I say most of the player base, I mean like casual players like me. I feel like the people who are deep in the fandom know all of this to heart.
Played at the end of the demo and nowhere in the full game, but it is a fitting way to end the OST. Since this song is the only real battle version of Sans' actual theme, this has led some people to think that the song that actually plays when you fight Sans, Megalovania, is actually supposed to be the player's theme. Most people still associate Megalovania with Sans, though.
I do
And
that,
speaking
yeah.
of Megalovania, did you know that it has a sequel? It's called Megalo Strike Back. Yes, strike, not strikes. And it's pretty catchy. Take a listen.
Why does this sound familiar? This sounds so familiar. Oh god.
I only bring this up because, well, it was made before Undertale, as was Megalovania itself, if you didn't know, and has never been officially associated with Undertale in any official capacity. A lot of fans headcanon it as Kara's theme, probably just because they're the only semi-main character.
Oh, I remember. I think I heard this in like just like the fan battle videos where they like do a mock battle. I don't know if they're real fan battles someone made or they're just animations, but I'm pretty sure I heard part of this as the music.
So you might hear it in some fan works.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Soundtrack to the right of the entrance to the throne room, there's some stairs leading down to a basement with a bunch of coffins, one of which is empty and has your name on it. Or rather, Kara's name. If you check this coffin after fighting Azrael, you notice some loose mummy wrappings inside, indicating that there had once been a body inside, but
Oh,
that
God.
has since been removed.
Oh no.
During your fight with Asgore, if you talk to him in battle after you've already died to him, you'll tell him how many times he's killed you. The only reason I bring this up is because he isn't shocked by this, which some have taken to mean that he has some awareness of saves and resets. I personally think it's more likely that he's just seen something similar in the other 6 humans and started to suspect something.
I thought Sans before was God of all time, yada yada. And I had so many comments telling me I was fucking wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I just thought whatever was cool back in the day, okay? But what was it? Like, he reads, I don't know, emotions and intentions or some shit like that. Someone's gonna have to comment it again. But is there anyone in the Undertale universe that actually has recollection and or knowledge of, like, the game being the game, right? Because, I mean, technically in Deltarune, we've already got that in Chapter 5. With Flowery and Rouse, technically, talking about, like, the settings menu and, like, all the buttons to attack and stuff, that's canon now, right? And Asgore technically got rid of the spare button. So he knows a little bit that it's a game, it seems, but is there anyone else that has knowledge of that? Or is it only, like, Asgore and Sans, more or less? Because I don't think Toriel knows.
That does beg the question of how he was able to kill them at all if they had control over the timeline. So maybe they couldn't save and reset, which would make Asgore's reaction here very strange. Actually, wait, Toriel says she gets deja vu from all of the humans who have fallen down here, which seems to suggest that they do have control over the timeline. So then
never mind.
how did
I
he
was
kill
wrong.
them? I've
I was
always
so
thought
wrong.
that trapping the souls in these containers must stop them from completely dying so they can't reload their save. But then in that case, why doesn't he do that to our soul when he kills us? Why can we reload our save?
We're built like that.
You probably know that if you refuse to kill Flowey after fighting him, after you get the neutral ending phone call, he'll show up and give you a hint on how to get a better ending. But if you get to this point on repeated neutral playthroughs, or you just reload your save and fight Asgore again, well, first of all, Flowey doesn't even fight you anymore because he already knows you'll win. But then he has
Okay,
some
that's
pretty
funny.
interesting new dialogue after the phone call. The first time you do this, he says, "So you're here again. What's wrong with you? Are you trying to start the Flowey fan club? Because if you want to join that, you'll have to talk to Papyrus." Yeah, he started one. A few different times anyway. I won't lie. He's one of the better characters to mess around with.
Okay, I guess Flowey does also know about the game timeline, whatever. I forgot about that.
The second time, "Did you start the Flowey fan club?" Ha, I'm just kidding. I was watching. I know you didn't.
You pervert.
He probably would have invited his garbage brother.
Don't call Sans that. He's nice.
You know, smiley trash bag.
Not so mean. I know he said you could reload the Asgore fight, but I'm wondering, I don't know how the game, like, save states work. Like, if you technically defeat Flowey and then reload a previous save of the fight, does that count as you defeating Flowey once? Or do you have to play the game throughout the entire thing multiple times to actually get these messages? Because that would be a lot of dedication. Of course, you could speedrun the game, but, like, you still have to go through, like, hours and hours just to get this little thing, right? It'd be cool if Toby locked it behind playing the game multiple times. I would say that was very evil of him, but if you could just reload and do it again, that's still a cool detail too.
If I have one piece of advice for you, don't let his brother find out anything about you.
Too late, he knows.
He's caused me more than my fair share of resets.
Wait, Sans did? I mean, I'm assuming everyone in the underground, or most of the main characters in the underground, know who Azrael is, right? Because Azrael was born before, and then died, turned into a flower, whatever, reincarnation. I mean, I don't really know how they interacted with them. I just assumed they were all kind of like friends-ish. They were all related in some sort of way. I don't know why he's so antagonistic right now.
The third time, "Why do you keep coming back here? You don't really want to be friends, do you?" No, I get it. You're just like me, aren't you? You don't care about anyone. You're just bored. You just want to see what I'll say.
Yeah.
So you can laugh and throw me away like a broken toy.
Yeah, that might be true.
Well, too bad. I'm not like everybody else. So from now on, you're not getting anything.
I'm not like other girls.
Then every time after that, don't you have anything better to do?
No.
Throughout the game, if you either reload a save or reset after reaching certain points, some characters will get a strange feeling that they've met you before. Like Toriel remembering whether you like cinnamon or butterscotch better. By far the most important of these is Sans, who has enough awareness of your saves and resets that many fans have come to think that he actually remembers all of them, like Flowey does.
That's what I
don't
thought.
think. Well, the most obvious example of this is during the genocide route. A very easily missable one can happen when you meet him in the last corridor, or Judgment Hall as some fans call it, in the pacifist route too. After listening to Sans' judgment with no EXP earned, if you reload your save and listen to him again, he'll notice that you look like you've heard his whole spiel before and tell you a secret code word that he only tells people he suspects to be time travel.
I have watched this video. I've watched this video and all the changes because I thought this was really interesting. It was like, depending on what level you are, he will have different dialogue. Like if you were like level 2, I think, he calls you like sadistic or fucked up or something. He knows that you know what you're doing or that you made an accident or something. I don't know. But I like how there's different changes in the dialogue for like what specific level you are.
Then if you reload again, you'll tell him the code word, after which he'll tell you another code word, and then if you reload and talk to him again, finally he'll say that it's time you learned the truth, and the key to his room appears on your keychain. When you go into his room, it's not on fire like how it looks from the outside, but pitch black.
Uh-oh.
You walk in, but no matter how far you go, there's nothing. If
That's
you try
scary.
to go back, the entrance seems to have disappeared. After a while, you hear a strange wind-like sound getting louder and louder, and then...
Do you die? Oh.
Hey, Sans, have you seen my...
That's pretty good.
Hello. You aren't Sans. Why were you using a treadmill in the dark?
Why was there just a head of lettuce on a
Is
mattress?
Sans pranking you across time and
Dude, this is a male living space right here. 5 socks in the corner, 2 more spread out randomly, old food, No actual desk, just a box and a fan, a mattress with just nothing on it. The pillow's not even on it, bro. And I guess, I don't know, a whirlwind in the corner. Apparently he's an airbender.
When you check the treadmill, you'll find a note on it that says, "The truth is that you got owned, nerd." So it was all just a big prank. Or was it? If you look in the drawer, you'll find another key. Then if you go behind Sans and Papyrus's house, you'll now be able to enter this room.
Whoa!
Checking the drawers, you'll find a photo album with pictures of Sans and a lot of people you don't recognize, and some kind of badge. The blueprints on the counter are covered in either strange symbols or just really bad handwriting, but they seem to go to the strange machine behind the curtain, which is broken. The song playing here is a slowed version of the song that played during your little talk with Sans at the MTT Resort, a melancholy remix of Sans' theme with a new B section called "It's Raining Somewhere Else," which is probably the most cryptic and unexplainable song title on the entire OST.
It really does feel like that. Or, oh, now that I think of it, is it just alluding to Deltarune? Just like straight up? Just like the alternate universe? I mean, it did rain there. I don't remember the chapter, but I remember doing the weird route, and it was like that weird pause, and then the rain stopped, and everything was creepy. Is that what it's alluding to? The weird route in Deltarune? I mean, that'd be a crazy connection, but I'm not sure.
Guess that the somewhere else is just referring to wherever Sans was originally from, which is likely not anywhere we see in the game because of lines like the Snowden shopkeeper saying that the skeletons kind of just showed up one day without explanation, Sans mentioning during his fight that there's somewhere he was trying to go back to that isn't the surface, and even an interesting bit from a fan interview with Papyrus in an Undertale newsletter, where someone asked what his life was like before Snowden.
Green grass.
But all Papyrus mentions is green grass before Sans comes in and distracts him, then ends the question without comment. A lot of people assumed he might have been from another world or dimension or something entirely, since we do know that those exist. If you call Papyrus while in their house, he even describes Sans' room as being like another world.
Well, that is a different explanation entirely, brother. It's just that you don't want to be there. It's like a biohazard in there, okay?
And besides the soundtrack, the other stuff in this room is just as strange. Predictions were all over the place with the photo album. No one had any clue what the deal with the badge could possibly be.
I mean, does it make sense that this all alludes to Deltarune? There's a lot of characters in Deltarune we technically haven't seen before. Like, have we seen Suzy and Rouse before? Like, technically, no. They look similar to other people we've seen before, but I don't think we've explicitly seen them. And like Noelle, right? So I think it is possible. It's probably a stretch. Like, what if the machine under there is just, I don't know, alternate reality, portal, whatever, fucking Rick and Morty shit.
And the best guess for the machine is that it would help him get back to his old home. There's also this now deleted tweet from Toby saying, "You've all seen the happiest outcome."
Oh.
Neither of them could fix the machine, no matter how hard they try.
Damn.
No one can.
This was in 2015 with 179 likes, brother. And then he deleted it? And someone still has it saved as a screenshot? Damn, the fandom's crazy. He be keeping tabs on this man like there's no tomorrow. He's being monitored. Holy.
There are actually a few other hints suggesting that Sans and Alphys have helped each other out with things in the past. The most well-known one is some dialogue that you can get in the True Pacifist ending, where Alphys accidentally lets slip a comment that makes it seem like she knows Sans pretty well, which surprises even Papyrus. And then Alphys gets all nervous before Sans just brushes it off. Another one is if—
I do remember that from the Gasser lore video. It was Sans, Alphys, and one other person that I forgot. All three of them knew each other. Asgore, I think, right? Because, I mean, Alphys is the royal scientist under Asgore. So all three of them did know each other and, like, work together technically.
He comments on the bag of dog food, saying that he thinks he remembers seeing it in Sans' room once, hinting that Sans might sometimes help Alphys take care of the amalgamates. So maybe it's a "you help me with my thing, I'll help you with your thing" sort of deal, but how that started is anyone's guess. I mean, Alphys is one of the ones who tells us that alternate universes exist, so if Sans really is from one of them, then maybe he's the reason that she knows this in the first place. Speaking of Alphys and her experiments, did you notice that there was no entry number 17 in the True Lab?
Of course I didn't notice.
There used to be one in the game's code, though it has since been removed entirely.
Ooh.
It just says that monsters' bodies melt when they have too much determination, and so all of the monsters that she was experimenting on melted together. So it makes sense why it was cut, because we learn all of this elsewhere, so it would just be redundant, but it is kind of weird that Toby didn't just adjust the numbers of the entries after it.
I love the theories. Listen, I love Toby. I keep thinking about this. I wonder how much shit Toby put in there just to fuck with fans. He knows how crazy people are when they're in a dedicated fandom. I wonder how much is just utter bullshit that he's just leading them on a wild goose chase on, and it just has no relation. I think it'd be funny, but I mean, the dude's a pretty smart guy. I think he connects like all of these things pretty well, and he knows what he's doing with his edits.
This thing that you use to restore power is kind of weird, right? Its bizarre appearance has led some people to think that this heart in the middle might actually be a real human soul, possibly even Kara's. That would have some interesting lore implications, but like, why else would Toby design this seemingly unimportant thing so strangely? Again, I have no conclusions about that, I just thought it was worth bringing up.
Kara was the only evil one out of the 6 or 7 souls, technically, right? Like, the other 6 were all more or less good. They had good intentions. Subjecting the only evil heart to some cruelty, I guess, makes sense in a fucked up way.
What he tells us about Asgore that is important is a little more of what it means for him to be a boss monster, those few monsters whose souls are strong enough to persist for a few seconds after their death. The only ones we know of in this game being Asgore and Toriel, and probably Azrael too. But the new information that Gerson gives us is that the soul power of boss monsters actually flows into their children, meaning that the parents' continued aging is now tied to their child growing up.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is a complicated way of saying that when Azrael died, Asgore and Toriel stopped aging, which is how they were alive when the human-monster war happened, but still don't look that far past their prime now.
Oh, that's crazy.
Gerson also tells us about his history with Undyne. Back in the day, he used to be a hero nicknamed the Hammer of Justice, and seemed to be a huge inspiration for Undyne when she was younger. The very familiar way he talks about Asgore seems to hint that he very well could have been the previous head of the Royal Guard. And if the OST is to be believed, then Undyne gave herself the nickname Spear of Justice as a derivative of Gerson, so that checks out. And that was all we knew about this intriguing minor character until actually very recently, during the Undertale 10th anniversary livestream, where Toby and some guys from Fangamer played through the entire True Pacifist route of Undertale, but with some unexpected new additions. Most things were jokes, some nice fluff, or a little extra world building.
Whoa, wait, I've never seen any of this, bro. Dude, I might have to replay Undertale. And see the things that I missed. This just feels like a whole new game to me. It's nothing like what I've played it before.
You know, it wasn't all written down quite right. Our history. The pages changed, things got sanded down, and important things were forgotten. Maybe on purpose. I never hated humans. Some of my best war buddies were humans. Of course, all of them are gone now, long gone. When they sealed us away, I didn't resist much. The other side sacrificed a lot to get us down here. Rumor has it, it even used up all their magic. Not sure though, I wasn't there.
It's so interesting to me because I forget, like, this isn't just a world of monsters and only monsters. There are actually humans, and I'm assuming just like a normal society on the surface. But we don't see any other humans or any mention of them other than the souls that fell down to the underground, right? I don't remember, maybe it's in the very intro of the Undertale where they have those like cutscenes in the dialogue. What was the reason for the human monster war? Was there like an actual good reason for it, or was it just like, oh, a war happened, humans won, pushed down the monsters, yada yada? I don't remember there being a specific reason of being like a catalyst to the war. Because it seems like humans and monsters can live in peace, right? Deltarune is that alternate universe. Like, they technically can live in peace. There is something there. I don't know what's preventing that, per se.
Humans and monsters weren't always enemies.
Oh, there we go.
No one really wanted to fight in that war.
God, I really need to fucking let the video play for 10 goddamn more seconds. I do this every time. Every fucking video. I say the thing, and then it's said right after I say the thing.
And the sides weren't really all that clear-cut. When the barrier was made, old friendships were broken. Old business partners lost. Even some married couples were I even knew one of the people doing the sealing.
Oh, that's
Seeing them
sad.
in that beautiful magician outfit for the first time.
Oh, Rousey magician outfit. He has a cloak, right? Does that count? I don't know.
Even if humans accept us, you can't say everything will go smoothly. Asgore probably didn't believe that either. Until he met you. Good job, Sprout.
If you go back to the very first room in the game, you'll find Azrael still holding on to this form for a little while longer.
Frisk, please leave me alone. I can't come back. I just can't, okay? I don't want to break their hearts all over again. It's better if they never see me. Frisk, why did you come here? Everyone knows the legend, right? Travelers who climb Mount Ebbet are said to disappear.
Maybe Frisk wanted to disappear.
Why would you ever climb a mountain like that? Was it foolishness? Was it fate?
Determination.
Or was it because you... Only you know the answer, don't you? I know why Kara climbed the mountain.
Oh, I don't.
It wasn't for a very happy reason.
I could tell that much.
Frisk, I'll be honest with you. Kara hated humanity. Why they did, they never talked about it, but they felt very strongly about that.
So Kara hated humanity. Kara just hate everyone and everything. I mean, they're a maniac murderer, more or less, is what I understand. And it become strong enough level, they just destroy universes. So it feels like they don't really hate just humanity. They hate, like, literally everything. They're just the incarnation of evil, like the pure definition of it. I might be wrong. Maybe there's some sad sob story backstory there, but I don't know.
Frisk, you really are different from Kara. I don't know why I ever acted like you were the same person. Kara wasn't really the greatest person. You're the type of friend I wish I always had. So maybe I was kind of projecting a little bit.
A little bit.
Let's be honest, I did some weird stuff as a flower. Frisk, when Kara and I combined our souls together, the control over our body was actually split between us. They were the one that picked up their own empty body. And then when we got to the village, they were the one that wanted to use our full power. I was the one that resisted. And then because of me, well, that's why I ended up a flower. This whole time, I've blamed myself for that decision.
So did Azrael go to the surface to befriend Kara, or did it because of Kara? God, my mind, there's so many moving parts in this goddamn universe, in this goddamn game, bro. I don't know if they, like, combined souls on purpose, or, like, they died and something happened like that, but I'm assuming that's how Azrael died and then turned to a flower, right? It was a human village that were trying to kill?
That's why I adopted that horrible view of the world. Kill or be killed. But now, after meeting you, Frisk, I don't regret that decision anymore. I did the right thing. If I killed those humans...
Okay, human village.
We would have had to wage war against all of humanity.
Jesus.
And in the end, everyone went free, right? But you can't regret hard choices your whole life, right?
True.
Well, not that I have much of a life left.
Oh, that's sad.
In the future, if you, see me, don't think of it as me, okay?
Oh?
I just want you to remember me like this. Someone that was your
Hold
friend
on.
for a little while.
Hold on. That's gotta be a direct reference to Deltarune, no? If you see me in the future. Obviously, we still haven't seen Azrael yet either. But I'm wondering if that means to completely separate this Azrael and that Azrael. I mean, I understand that all the characters should be separated from each other because it's an alternate universe. But, like, most of them have very similar personalities. I'm wondering how different Azrael's gonna be. Because it's not like we see too much of Azrael Undertale. Like, this is probably the most of it, right? Plus, like, whatever evil thoughts he has as Flowey. Oh, I want to see Azrael so badly. I thought he would show up at the festival, and that didn't happen. Instead, we got drowned. But you know how it goes.
Be careful in the outside world, okay? Despite what everyone thinks, it's not as nice as it is here.
I believe that. I'm looking at our world now.
There are a lot of Flowies out there.
Yeah, a lot.
And not everything can be resolved by just being nice.
Yep, true. In fact, you could go and say nothing can be resolved by being nice currently. Nothing at all.
Frisk, don't you have anything better to do?
So let's talk about Kara, because I have seen many different interpretations of what they were like before their death over the years based on Azrael's description of them, ranging from they're a complete psychopath and poisoned Asgore with the buttercups on purpose just for fun, all the way to they're a completely innocent victim of circumstance whose actions were all justifiable and Azrael was
I'm sorry. Justifiable? Didn't Kara technically delete the universe and destroy the universe at the end of the genocide route? Is that justifiable? I don't really know. All existence being deleted doesn't seem very justifiable.
The fact that Azrael specifically says that Kara hated humanity makes me think that they actually did love the monsters, probably because the monsters were, at least in Kara's view, the first people to ever actually be kind to them. But their mistreatment by the humans had left them a little psychologically damaged, which is why they laughed off Asgore getting sick as some sort of coping mechanism, why they were willing to emotionally manipulate their brother that they really did love in their own way, and why Azrael in the end could describe them as not the greatest person. So a victim, yes, and not incapable of emotion, but still far from innocent. That's my take anyway. Alright, the true pacifist ending has one more little goodie for us, because if you dodge all of the names in the special thanks of the credits, that mysterious door in Snowdin finally opens.
Whoa,
and
what?
inside is a dog who fell asleep after somehow programming a game.
God damn it, Toby.
In case for Undertale's 5th anniversary, we actually got a small glimpse into what life might be like for the monsters after the true pacifist ending. Toby released a bunch of dialogue that was meant to be used for an alarm clock app, which I've never been exactly sure how that was going to work, but development of the app has been canceled, at least for now, because Toby wanted all of their resources to go toward developing Deltarune, and so do we.
Very
but
fair,
it seems like
very
the dialogue was going to be different for different seasons, so the stuff he released was specifically winter-themed. The characters talk primarily about a big Christmas party they had recently. We know this has to be after the true pacifist ending because that's the only ending where Asgore survives, but interestingly, no humans, including Frisk, are ever mentioned. Maybe that means that choosing not to stay with Toriel is canon? I don't know how much stock I would put into that though. Also, though it doesn't ever say it explicitly, they still seem to be in Snowdin, so it's not like they completely abandoned the underground after the barrier was broken, which I guess makes sense. Some fun character tidbits we learn are that Kara used to fill glasses of water up to the very top because that was more efficient and got Azrael to do the same. Toriel tends to go a little crazy when alcohol is involved, and Flowey actually still cares a bit about Toriel. But most interestingly, we learn about a friend of Asgore's that we never heard about.
Rudy! My goat, he better not be fucking dead. I swear to God, I will be so upset. I love that man. God damn it.
Undertale named Rudy. They met when Rudy was in college, though after a while they seemed more or less the same age because Rudy was aging normally while Asgore wasn't aging at all. Rudy eventually got married and had at least 2 daughters. Asgore would be Santa at Christmas, and Rudy would put on a glowing red nose and be his Rudolph.
That's so cute.
It's pretty easy to speculate from this that Rudy was actually a reindeer monster, though it doesn't ever actually explicitly say that. But one day, without explanation, he died.
Oh,
we don't know
no, no. You can't just say he fell down and then he died, bro. Oh, God. Is that a Deltarune thing? Is he just gonna be dead after and that's it, bro? No. That's so sad. That's so sad that that's true, bro. God damn it.
There's actually this little house in Snowdin that if you wait long enough, you can see someone come out of, that after this came out, we thought might actually be Rudy's house, and the person was one of his daughters or his wife or something.
Jesus.
But the 10th anniversary live stream showed this random lumberjack guy down here that it might actually belong to, so it was more likely just meant as another example of monsters living their lives in areas of the underground we never get to explore. If you abort the genocide route partway through by either not meeting the kill count requirements or by sparing bosses, there are a few unique things that can happen. For example, if you stay on this route all the way to Hotland, but then kill Mettaton Neo without all of the required kills, you get a unique neutral ending where Alphys calls you to tell you that with all her friends dead, except Sans, she stepped up and became a better person and a leader, and that she should have killed you when she had the chance.
Jesus.
But the main thing that people always bring up when talking about an aborted genocide route is some new dialogue Papyrus has on his hangout. This time, when you check the box that he says contains his special attack, he says that if you had fought, he would have blasted you with it, suggesting that his real special attack might have involved those same blasters that Sans uses in his fight.
Right,
and
the
I wish
Gaster
I could use
blasters.
that to transition straight into talking about the Sans fight, but before we get there, I need to briefly touch on the other major boss fight of this route, because if you were hoping that there was some hidden lore pointing to how Undyne was able to transform like this, Sorry, I've got nothing. There is, of course, his ability to seemingly teleport, though some think that the actual ability that he is using here is to stop time, based on the scene in Grillby's where he does seem to stop time for everyone around you.
Oh,
but then
wow.
there's also this completely out of nowhere pink KR poison-esque mechanic. We actually know that this stands for karma, because of 2 pieces of difficult to trigger flavor text.
What the hell?
If you have between 20 and 30 KR at the end of Sans' turn, it says karma coursing through your veins. And if you have between 30 and 40, it says doomed to death of karma.
What the hell?
I have heard someone relate this combination of pink and yellow on your health bar to how you can switch out yellow names on sparable monsters with pink ones way at the beginning of the game. I didn't even mention that you could do that earlier because it really didn't.
What? Where are you getting this dialogue? I'm just so confused. I'm so confused how you find any of this, bro. In my head canon, I love just thinking about Sans as like the god of all the universes, right? Like Toby is the one who created everything, and he put himself insert as the annoying dog. But Sans is like one level below that, where like below the creator, where he just like kind of controls everything. He's like the watchdog.
But here's what happens if you do spare him. You're sparing me? Finally.
He's just gonna kill you.
Pal, I know how hard it must be to make that choice.
Yeah, 100%. He's just gonna
To
kill
go
you.
back on everything you've worked up to. I want you to know, I won't let it go to waste. Come here, pal.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming from a mile away.
Get dunked on. If we're really friends, you won't come back.
Damn.
Then when you make it back to that point in the fight, but this time try to kill him, he says this.
What if you never come back?
Whoa, you look really pissed off. Did I get you? Well, if you came back anyway, I guess that means we never really were friends, huh?
Aw.
Don't tell that to the other Sanses, okay? So, more confirmation that he is very aware of other timelines to the point where he can accurately guess what happened in them just by the look on your face. Here's what happens if you choose do not, which is by far the more interesting outcome. No? How curious. You must have misunderstood. Since when were you the one in control?
Oh my god, oh my god. Ah, my eyes! Oh lord! Jesus Christ. I'm 90% sure I chose to erase it and then like I couldn't open the game again or something like that. At the time, again, young kid, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, oh my god, I just lost access to the game entirely. I didn't know you could just like restart it. I didn't know you could just find a way to like restart the files. But I thought that was cool. I thought it was like, that was the first game where I was like, okay, a choice in the game actually affects things outside. Like you can't launch the game again. It's like the universe actually got destroyed. I thought that was so awesome.
If anything actually changes when you give them your soul to restore the world to the way it was. Well, at the end of a true pacifist route, if you say you have other places to be, the normal picture is replaced by one where Kara has taken Frisk's place and everyone else's faces are crossed out.
No.
If you choose to stay with Toriel, this happens.
Oh, is it gonna be like deltarune? Yeah, kind of. Oh, Jesus, okay, sorry. Oh my god. It is the literal devil, reincarnated.
But if you decide to do a genocide route again, Kara has some new dialogue. Kara. The demon that comes when people call its name.
What, the boogeyman? Jesus.
It doesn't matter when. It doesn't matter where.
Brother, you do not have that much aura. Actually,
Time
you kind of
after
do, sorry.
time, I will appear.
You kind of do, I lied, my bad.
And with your help, we will eradicate the enemy and become strong.
Become stronger.
HP, attack, defense, gold, EXP, LV. Every time a number increases, that feeling, that's me. Kara. But you and I are not the same, are we? This soul resonates with a strange feeling. There is a reason you continue to recreate this world.
Sadistic.
There is a reason you continue to destroy it.
You're more fucked up than Kara, aren't you?
You are racked with a perverted sentimentality.
Dude, being told that from someone who literally wants to destroy all of humanity and deleted a world is probably the worst insult you could have been told. That is crazy. They really mean that.
I feel obligated to suggest, should you choose to create this world once more, another path would be better suited.
Can't they even tell you to
Now, partner,
not do genocide?
let us send this world back into the abyss.
Wait, that's so interesting. Why would they tell you to not do genocide
The
route
demon
again?
that comes when people call its name, huh? There has been much debate about exactly what this means, and adding to that are some super hidden lines of unused code labeled demon that were clearly put there for data miners to find. In the original version of the game, these lines were called Demon X, Demon Y, Demon Z, and Demon R.
What the
and
hell?
were pretty clearly just a message from Toby Fox telling people not to post stuff they found in the code online.
Well, too late.
In the first update, after everyone had gone and posted everything online anyway, this message, or a shorter version of it, now just called Demon X, was moved to the script for the naming screen, and in its old place was a message now labeled Demon A, Demon B, Demon C, and Demon D, which says this: Greetings. You have made yourself completely clear. Understood. I, your humble servant, will follow you to the utmost. The simple greetings at the beginning makes this sound weirdly similar to how Kara talks, and it seems almost like they kicked the old speaker out of their place or something, but I really am not sure what to do with this
What
detail.
the hell, Toby? What
But
are you
with
doing?
all that in mind, and having already discussed Kara's backstory, what role do they actually have throughout the game itself? So we know that when Toriel left New Home for the ruins, she took Kara's body with her, and it seems very likely that she buried them in the first room of the game under the patch of flowers that Frisk wakes up on. Kara speculates that Frisk's determination, or maybe more accurately ours somehow, woke them up. I've always thought that this was because, well, human bodies do still turn to dust eventually, just much slower than monster bodies do. So maybe when that happened, Kara's essence lived on in the flowers, like what happens with monsters, and then just like Flowey, being exposed to determination woke them up. It's not exactly one-to-one, since they woke up connected to Frisk / the player in some way instead of just being a flower though, so that might be a stretch. I've also heard the theory that Flowey's speculation about Kara waking up when they heard him calling is actually correct, or that us calling their name by naming them before we start the game is what did it, which would fit with them being the demon that comes when people call its name. From here, though, opinions on Kara once again vary wildly. The knee-jerk reaction to seeing them at the end of the genocide route would be to think that their direct influence over the game only grows as you level up. I've even heard the theory that in the genocide route you are becoming Kara, while in the pacifist route you are truly becoming Frisk, since that's the only route where you learn their name. On the other hand, a very popular theory for a long time was that Kara is just straight up the narrator of the entire game, no matter what route you're on. But once again, closer.
Does that make sense? I mean, if we think about it in deltarune terms, right? Like, we, the player, is the heart and soul. And then the character is someone else that had like a normal life, right? The more we become evil, the more Kara actually takes over and kind of infects our soul. And I mean, the theory of that both Frisk and Kara's soul are both red, then I mean, you know, Kara can kind of worm their way through. And then soon enough, all the dialogue, which is technically supposed to be Frisk doing the dialogue, instead is Kara like corrupting the dialogue slowly and slowly until it just is Kara. I think that makes sense. That feels like it matches up. I don't know. The weird thing is just like all these theories, you know, after the fact, since Deltarune a lot of chapters come out, a lot of these theories make more and more sense. But I don't know if it's just because it's convenient that it makes more and more sense, or they're actually true. And I'm waiting for the day when Deltarune finishes, and I don't know if Toby's going to make more games or anything like that. I want Toby to just like speak the truth on something, you know? I want him to like leak just one little tidbit of information that is true and watch the fans go crazy. Honestly, I kind of wouldn't mind if he just didn't say anything at all, right? Keep the theories going on and on and on, like keep the conversations going. But I want him just to leak one little thing.
Now that they are without a soul of their own, our actions shape who they are. By the end of the pacifist route, they are content with letting Frisk be their own person. And in the genocide route, we teach them to value strength and destruction above all else. At the beginning of every playthrough, a random number from 1 to 100 called the fun value gets assigned to your save file.
I do know that.
Which dictates one rare event or NPC that will show up during that playthrough. If your fun value is anywhere from 2 to 39, when you enter the river person room in Snowden for the first time, you will get this phone call. Hello, can I speak to Wait a second. Is this the wrong number? Oh, it's the wrong number song. We're very sorry.
What's
that we
happening?
got it wrong.
What's happening?
Oh, it's the
Whoa!
wrong number.
It's a
the wrong
musical!
number song.
Oh god!
Values 56 and 57 trigger nightmare mode,
Oh.
which changes Ice-E's Monster Kid's word search from looking like this to looking like this.
I wonder if I can see my previous fun value, because I technically have several playthroughs of Undertale and it hasn't been downloaded in a while. I'm wondering if I can see what fun value I had to know what the event I would have got. Because I don't remember any of the special events, which makes me think I was either 1, unlucky and didn't get any of them, which I don't know if it's possible, or 2, I was stupid and didn't look in areas, which I probably think is the latter.
Don't despair. This world has infinite opportunities. But there's a limit to the things you can do today. Accepting this is healthy.
This is true. Good lesson.
If you go to Sans' lab after having talked to Clam Girl and inspect the drawer with the photo album, instead of looking at the album, you'll notice a card sticking out from the back flap of the binder. It's a poorly drawn picture of 3 smiling people. Written on it, "Don't forget."
Is that what everyone fucking references all the time about the picture? I never understood that. I just assumed it was like Frisk's family photo or something, and just says "don't forget." Just don't forget, like, you know, their family. I didn't know it was this specific Sans laboratory. That's crazy that you specifically have to go to talk to Clam Girl and then go here to get that one tidbit of dialogue. Otherwise, you would never find it. That's crazy to me. And to get Clam Girl, you need the random fun value bullshit. You need the RNG for it.
At values 91 to 100, if you backtrack to the very beginning of the first bridge where Undyne tried to kill you, you'll find this creepy grayscale version of Monster Kid
The Gaster
called
thing?
mkid_goner in the sprite files, and therefore known by the fans as Goner Kid. Their dialogue has haunted the fandom for years. Have you ever thought about a world where everything is exactly the same? Except you don't exist?
Wow.
Everything functions perfectly without you. The thought terrifies me.
That is a scary
If
thought.
you grab this leaves fun values 1, 51 to 55, 58 to 60, 64, 67 to 79, and 90 unused.
That's a lot. Hold on, how many numbers is that? That's 24 numbers unused. So I guess you have a 24 out of 100 chance to not get anything. So I guess I could have been unlucky.
But then there are also a few that give some helpful gameplay or lore hints, like to the location of Temmie Village, or how eating the pie while fighting Asgore lowers his attack and defense, or reminding you of the prophecy of the deltarune, or hinting that Flowey is neither human nor monster. But then there are a few that are a little more mysterious.
It's always the guys who speak absolute bullshit gibberish that give you the most important lore bits.
Beware of the man who came from the other world. Okay, that one could be added to the list of evidence that Sans is from another world of some sort. It makes sense to be warned about him, considering how he would have killed you without the promise he made to Toriel.
Whoopsie.
Did you ever hear the old song Coming from the Sea? That one could be like the wrong numbers song? I mean, we're by the sea when that happens, but it comes from our phone and not the sea itself. Maybe it means the statue with the music box playing Azrael's theme then? Well, that's in Waterfall, but not exactly by the sea. Yeah, I'm really not sure what to make of this one. Beware of the man who speaks in hands.
Gaster! Oh
Who?
my god!
Speaking in hands, what does
It's
that even mean?
him!
If you edit your save file and put yourself in room 264, When you open the game, you see a message from a character speaking in the Wingdings
God.
font in all
Oh
caps.
god,
which
I feel my brain deteriorating immediately. I've seen it for 5 seconds again, and I already feel my brain melting. Oh god.
the shadows cutting deeper.
Gaster, speak normal for once.
The delightful audio track playing in this room is called mus_smile in the game files. Please adjust yourself to the sound of it.
Oh god, make it stop, help, please.
Weirdly, if you speed this track up, you
Brother.
get the laugh sound effect used by Muff.
Dude, we are going in deep. Oh my god, we've even taken the soundtrack. What is this? Is this GarageBand? I don't know what Apple app this is, but we're really going in deep. Oh my god. Jesus.
But more importantly, the name of this room in the game files is room_gaster.
It's him!
But who or what is a gaster?
I don't want to know.
Well,
Stop,
some
don't tell
of you
me.
observe there are actually a few fun values that I skipped earlier. 3 of them give you a small chance to encounter one of 3 NPCs in the elevator rooms in Hotland.
Wait, it's not even guaranteed. If you have to get the fun numbers, it's still a small chance after that? That's ridiculous.
At fun value 62, if you have a low murder level, Gaster Follower 1 has a 50% chance to appear in front of elevator L3.
Oh, that's
the one
not bad.
Right before Muffet's bake sale. They look like the dude licking the ficus in the MTT resort.
Ew.
It makes sense why Asgore took so long to hire a new royal scientist. After all, the old one, Dr. Gaster, what an act to follow. They say he created the core. However, his life was cut short. One day, he fell into his creation and... Will Alphys end up the same way? If you leave the room and come back before or after talking to them, they'll be gone. At
Like a
fun value
ghost.
63, regardless of murder level, Gaster Follower 3 has a 50% chance to appear in front of elevator L2 right after the MTT news segment. Also, I kind of lied earlier because this one doesn't have a normal NPC counterpart elsewhere in the game. It's just a weird face thing.
Except Deltarune.
I understand why Asgore waited so long to hire a new royal scientist. The previous one, Dr. Gaster. His brilliance was irreplaceable. However, his life was cut short. One day, his experiments went wrong and... Well, I needn't gossip. After all, it's rude to talk about someone who's listening.
Again, a crazy line.
Once again, leaving the room and
sick
coming back
line.
makes them disappear. At fun value 61, Gaster Follower 2 has a 20% chance of appearing in front of elevator R1, the first elevator you go on, the one right after the cooking show. This one looks like the guy who regretted spending all his life savings on one of Muffet's donuts. Alphys might work faster, but the old royal scientist, Dr. W.D. Gaster, one day he vanished without a trace. They say he shattered across time and space. How can I say so without fear? I'm holding a piece of him right here.
Oh my god. Oh!
Yeah, this guy just straight up vanishes after his dialogue finishes. Okay, let's take this information one piece at a time.
One Piece!
Dr. W.D. Gaster. Also, this similarly skull-like attack that Azrael uses is called the Hyper Goner, and since Goner is a loaded and potentially gastery word, people have wondered if this attack has something to do with him too.
Oh, that's cool.
I just figured I should mention that just in case. Back to connections with the skeletons though, there's also this really old piece of concept art that Toby shared of Papyrus that says that he has a brother named Comic Sans and a blank named Blank.
I do like how this entire section is probably going to be very similar to the Gaster video I watched, and they all, again, reference the same things, that just the theories are off the charts. Like, it's very similar, but there's just like small details here and there that are different, and I like that.
Many people have noted how strange it was for Toby to black the message out in that way instead of just putting a square over the whole thing, which would have been much easier editing-wise, leading to speculation that there is an unknown relative that we just aren't allowed to know about yet, which is a spot that Gaster could easily fill. There is absolutely zero evidence for how he might be related to them, but the most common interpretation over the years is that he was their father. There was also this weird audio file found in the Korean demo of Undertale of all things, which was apparently based on an earlier build of the game for some reason. The audio is just a super early version of the beginning of Metal Crusher, But the name of the file was Grandpa Semi, another font-related name, leading some people to believe that this early concept for a grandfather to Sans and Papyrus eventually morphed into Gaster. Or maybe Grandpa Semi would have been Gaster's dad, who knows. But Gaster could just as easily be a third brother or like an uncle or something, if he is actually even related to them at all.
The crazy
Whatever
uncle.
the case, Sans and Papyrus have often been speculated to be the two that Gaster addresses at the end of entry 17, with the other most popular guess being Sans and Alphys, but there really is no solid evidence to suggest who he's talking to here. There was also a theory for a bit that the name Gaster could be based on the Aster font, which Sans uses a similar font to when he falls asleep during his fight, but it seems to me like if this was intentional, then Toby would have actually just used the Aster font here instead of one that just kind of...
Like, how do you even... I don't even know how, like, would you just take a screenshot of the ZZZ and be like, Google, tell me what font this is? I don't know fonts. Like, how would people do this, bro?
We also learned that he was the royal scientist before Alphys, and that he was a really good one, and that they say he is the one who created the core. In Alphys' True Lab entries, she mentioned that she learned how to extract determination from the human souls from the blueprints. She never says where she got these blueprints, but many have speculated based on this line that Gaster had begun to research how to break the barrier and is the one who designed, if not built, the DT extraction machine. There's even an old theory that Gaster himself wrote all of the True Lab entries that have proper capitalization, but this really doesn't hold up under scrutiny. But it is possible that Gaster wrote the blueprints in Sans' workshop, considering it says that you can't read the symbols they're written in, or maybe it's just the handwriting, suggesting that they could be written in wingdings instead of chicken scratch. Or maybe they were originally written by Gaster but have some additional scribblings from Alphys on them, who knows. So then, let's try to piece together what happened to him. The followers tell us that his experiments went wrong and that he fell into his creation, which could be two separate events, but I'm going to assume that they're the same, that some experiment of his went wrong, causing him to fall into his creation. The immediate assumptions are that his experiment is probably the same one that he talks about in entry 17, and that his creation that he fell into is referring to the core. But the problem is that those two things don't seem to line up all that well. Entry 17 keeps talking about some sort of darkness spreading and like negative photons or something, but what would that have to do with the functions of the core? I suppose there could be some hidden purpose to the core that we don't know about, but many fans believe that the creation of his that he fell into was something else. But what that could be, it's hard to say. Some have suggested the DT extraction machine, but that doesn't really seem to fit entry 17 either.
But it also said that he was spread throughout time and space, right? Doesn't it make the most sense that it's the core, just like something dealing with energy? How else would your... I don't know why, I'm getting really deep into it too. How else do your particles get spread throughout time and space? It's such a strange fucking question. It's the weirdest fucking question I could be asking right now. But I'm just thinking about what device could do that in terms of Undertale, and I feel like the core makes the most sense.
Whatever it was, he vanished without a trace, and they say that he shattered across time and space, and now seems to be always listening in some way. Those "they say" phrases are mildly infuriating because it makes me doubt how accurate they actually are, but let's just say that they are in fact true. That word "shattered" seems to imply that he's not just some completely omnipresent, omniscient being across all of time and space in his entirety, but that there are little pieces of him everywhere and every when, hence how he's always listening. Some fans have also interpreted the "vanished without a trace" line to include him even vanishing from everyone's memories, connecting it to Sans' "don't forget" note, the fact that trying to name the fallen human Gaster immediately boots you back to the intro as if the game doesn't even know how to process that name, and especially the Goner Kids dialogue about a world that's exactly the same except you don't exist.
I like that theory. I like that theory a lot. Instead of him being God, he's just someone watching like enclosed universes from like a third eye perspective, but no one knows who he is. He's like a watcher. He's a watcher, but completely invisible to everyone and everything, bro. I mean, I guess he's invisible to everything except us as the player, because we're also like a third-party perspective in a way. I don't know. I do like that though. I think that's interesting.
But that connection is just loose speculation. It's actually been speculated that all of the fun events are related to Gaster in some way. Before singing the wrong number song, these unknown callers start to ask to speak to someone whose name starts with G, which could be Gaster.
Pirate Gaster.
The two other phone calls you can get are
Green
from Sans and
Gaster.
Alphys, who both have obvious connections to Gaster. Clam Girl is a bit of a loose connection, but she is the one who makes the don't forget note appear in Sans' lab, so that's something at least. And Goner Kid, even if their dialogue wasn't meant to be talking about Gaster, has the similar appearance to the Gaster followers. But there's actually two more fun events I haven't talked about yet. If your fun value is 65, the first time you enter the room at the north of the first crossroads in Snowdin, the one where the fishing rod usually is, there's a 50% chance that you will be taken to the sound test room, which contains 4 audio snippets for you to
That's
listen
how
to.
you get there.
3 of them are super short, pointless loops, but the 4th one is Gaster's theme. Once you select it, you are unable to select any of the other songs.
Again, I think this is kind of a sick theme too.
Interestingly, Gaster's theme in the game files is simply called mus_st, short for sound test, underscore him.
It's him.
And for the final fun event, if your fun value is 66, this seemingly pointless hallway will always appear the first time you exit the mouse save room in Waterfall to the right. Once you exit the hallway, it will no longer appear when you go between these 2 rooms. But when you enter this fake hallway, there is a 10% chance that there will be a strange gray door in the middle.
Dude,
which is
what?
actually a grayscale version of the door sprites used in Sans and
That's
Papyrus's
awesome.
house. When you enter it, you are met with this.
Gaster!
This sprite is completely intangible, but if you try to interact with it,
I love
that
that.
sound is the same one used by Gaster Follower 2 when they disappeared, a sound which is actually a sped up and reversed Gaster's theme. This sprite in the game files is labeled Mystery Man, but it's Gaster. It just has to be. There's one other sprite in the game files that some have speculated to be Gaster, or at least a piece of him, because if you hack your way into being able to interact with it, it says redacted in Wingdings, but this is honestly probably just a test sprite in my opinion. Mystery Man being Gaster just makes too much sense. Not only because of the connection to Gaster's theme and it being a fun event, but also the fact that it's specifically fun value 66. See, Gaster actually has battle stats hidden in the game files, which are obviously completely unused, but all of which contain only the number 6.
The devil.
This is almost certainly connecting him to the number 666, the mark of the beast, or number of man, from the biblical book of Revelation. In case anyone doesn't know, in ancient times, the number 3 was a number of completion, and 7 was a number of perfection. So 666, being 3 times short of 7, symbolizes total imperfection.
Did not know that.
Basically,
Wow.
in fiction, it's often used as shorthand for something demonic, or even simply, this guy is bad news. So whatever Gaster's deal is, he's probably not a great guy. But yeah, with the Mystery Man fun value being 66, and like, the freaking hex code of the color of this room is A6, A6, A6.
Oh, that's
Or so
awesome.
I've heard, but when I tested this myself, it showed up as AF, 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 but that could just be the footage I was using being ever so slightly discolored or something, but still, Mystery Man just has to be Gaster. He even looks vaguely like a slightly
Dude, imagine how fucked up it would be if Toby put all of that there. He's like, at the end, he reveals, yes, that's not Gaster. Gaster's actually this guy I've never shown anyone yet. I've never used his sprite once. That'd be so fucked up. I feel like fans would actually rage at him. They would hate Toby for that, bro.
Some people have also pointed out that if you flip him upside down, it kind of just looks like a different guy, which
Yes.
I'm not sure I see it so much,
I
but
see it a little
if that
bit.
is meant to be a face, it would certainly fit with the whole demonic motif we've got going on. And speaking of demons, we're still not done with this guy yet, because, hey, remember those strings of text with the demon label that in the game's first update it almost looked like one demon had kicked the other out of its place and replaced it or something? Well, that Demon X string, the one that got kicked out, did seem pretty normal in this initial update, but in a later update, this string was changed to say, in all caps, he is.
Damn.
And then was changed to be completely
What
empty
the
a few
hell,
days
Toby?
later.
What
This
the
all
hell?
seems very Gastery to me, from the all caps to the out of context use of a single pronoun like mus_st_him to the disappearing. What does any of this mean? I have no idea, but it sure is potentially something.
I like to imagine people are just like staring at the Undertale Steam page waiting and praying for updates. The second an update hits, they go straight to the file. They're like, where's the change? What did he do? What did the madman do? And they just screenshot every little change made at every update, because that's just so funny to me.
But that's not the only instance we have of Gaster maybe speaking to us through the code. And in this case, I really mean speaking. There's an audio file in the game's music folder called ABC_123_A. Probably just called that so that it would be at the very top of the folder so that it would be the first thing anyone saw. And this is what it sounded like in the original release.
Hello, have some respect
Oh my
and
God.
don't spoil the game.
It's impossible to have mysteries nowadays.
Because of nosy people like you.
Please
Jesus, dude, it hurts my ears. What am I listening to?
keep all of this between us.
If you post it online, I won't make any more secrets.
That is just Toby. That is just Toby venting that too many people are posting this shit online. That is not a secret. It's just him ranting and being pissed. That's so funny.
No one will be impressed. It will be your fault.
Oh my
This is a
God.
very similar message to the original Demon X message, and like that message, it was changed in the game's first update. Here's what it sounds like now.
Those are noises for
Considering
sure.
that these text-to-speech voices are the same ones used to create the text sound in entry 17,
Oh, okay.
this is most likely meant to be Gaster speaking, and maybe the different voices represent different pieces of him. Or something.
Okay.
All of this stuff buried in the game files led many to the interpretation that, building off of the game's meta-narrative, Gaster's failed experiment had literally gotten him lost in the game's code, or what fans began to refer to from an in-universe standpoint as the Void. Note that this name is purely fanon and has no basis in the actual game, but it was popular enough that it felt worth bringing up. And that is all that Undertale gives us about Gaster. Toby did give us one little extra thing to think about at the end of 2015 in a now long deleted tweet where he cryptically mentioned
He loves deleting his tweets. He loves messing with the fans. I love this dude. Success of Undertale has been incredible. Thank you to the artists, fans, and my friends for supporting me. Something has left me unsettled. Burning, inexplicable feeling, you could say. Its very nature shrouded in darkness. 2016, be nice to start something else. I love this guy. I love this guy so much,
something
dude.
whose very nature was shrouded in darkness, which sounds like it could relate to entry 17, but then after that, nothing. Theories abounded, but there's only so much we can do with this amount of information. After a while, it started to feel like we had reached the end of all possible speculation about this character, and we're still left with more questions than answers. Toby gave us just enough information about him to make him incredibly intriguing, without giving us any answers about who he was or why he even exists in this game at all.
I would love to see Toby make a movie. I think I said this in the Gaster video as well. It doesn't have to be about Undertale, it doesn't have to be a deltarune, but I think just the way this man connects all the things and makes like interesting characters that are still mysteries without giving too much away, but there's like just enough information. I feel like he could make a banger TV show or a movie, you know? It'd be so awesome.
Finally, the last thing I want to do in this video is talk about some things that are exclusive to Undertale's various console ports.
Oh, okay.
The first port was to the PS4, which came with a unique menu theme and even a brand new soundtrack.
That's beautiful.
A calm yet mysterious rendition of the game's main theme that the Collector's Edition soundtrack revealed to be called Before the Story.
I do think it's also really sweet of Toby, and like it just shows how much he's invested into these stories. That like every addition to Undertale, like, you know, the ports or the different small updates, whatever, like quality of life updates there may be, he doesn't just try to put an update to like just say, oh, here it is just now on console. Like he actually tries to expand the world and the lore a little bit and add something new, right? Something maybe he thought about before he dropped it up, but didn't have a good place to put it in. And then now he's getting opportunities to do it, and he just shoves it in. I think that's so sick, because like he's not just doing it like for the money, right, or something like that, just because he's told to. He's doing it because he wants to expand the world more, and that's awesome.
In the game itself, you can now Go inside Papyrus's sink, where you'll find a shrine to the annoying dog. There's even a new remix of the Dog Room soundtrack from the base game.
Dog
If you
Nate.
donate money to the shrine, random things will start appearing in it that have funny flavor text. None of it is the least bit important, and doing this is
No, this is
completely
all important. Look, that's icy. That's icy, I think. This has to be important. Someone analyze this, please.
pointless except to give you trophies. Thanks, Toby. Also, there was a PS Vita version with the shrine in it too, if anyone cares. In the next port,
All right, you know what? Maybe I'm a little bit wrong with him expanding the world, but it's still cool he adds new things. Forget the rant I just did.
the Switch version, when you enter the sink, you'll find a ruined dog shrine with a padlocked door in the center. If you come back here after reaching New Home, the lock will be gone. Inside is a Mew Mew doll/robot thing
Oh my
that
God,
seems
no
to have
way.
been built by Alphys. That or she found it in the garbage dump and repaired it. Anyway, inspecting it puts you into a fight, and Mad Mew Mew starts talking to you. It's pretty clear from the way she talks that this is the same ghost you fought as Mad Dummy earlier.
Right,
who's
okay,
now
yep.
found a new body she likes even better and is trying to fuse with it.
Wait, that's also sick that he put, like, a boss specifically for the port. It kind of sucks for everyone who doesn't have the port, but I think it's just an interesting detail. Like, a unique boss for each port would be sick. I don't think that's the case, right? I think there's only one for the Nintendo Switch, and that's it. And it's this one.
In the Xbox port, we return to the dog shrine once more, where the annoying dog plows
Oh,
all the old ruined stuff
no.
away and turns it into a casino.
Oh, that's awesome.
Once again,
Wait, I need to get the game on Xbox now. Holy shit, this is fire.
It mainly just has random stuff appear in the room as prizes, and you can get achievements and stuff. But more importantly, Sans actually shows up in here to comment on all the stuff you get. Most of it is still not important, except for one. At some point, winning at the slot
Whoa,
machine will
what the
start
hell?
covering the room with whatever this is,
What
and if
the
you get a
fuck?
ton of them, Sans will reminisce about a really bad blizzard in Snowdon a little while back. He once again brings up how Asgore would act as Santa, bringing everyone presents, including, Sans says, the antlered girl and her big sis.
Noella
This
Dash.
doesn't seem to really match anyone in the game, so people have speculated that it's actually talking about Rudy's daughters that were mentioned in the Winter Alarm Clock dialogue.
Damn, I mean, I understand. Again, I know it's an alternate universe, but I just didn't know there were that many hints to the characters in Deltarune in this game. Like, I just didn't pay enough attention to it. Also, is the outside background here changed by doing this, or is this just something the person put in? Because I literally see Jevil on the left there. I see Jevil and I see Toriel on the right, and I don't know if this is like fan art or this is like in the actual game.
Some people also wondered if the two of them were actually the ones we hear in the wishing room through these echo flowers wishing to see the real stars, or even the passing
Oh.
conversation we hear throughout the rest of Waterfall. Also, once you get to New Home,
Wait,
Even the
hold
passing
on. Someday I'd like to climb this mountain we're all buried under. I mean, that has to be Noelle, no? I mean, Noelle, well, I guess Noelle wants to run away in a different sense. But she did just say, I want to run away from this place. It's not the way she intended, but again, alternate universe. It could be her saying this because she just wants to go away and kind of be free.
Also in this port, there are little messages that can come up when you disconnect your controller, some of which are funny, and some of which are this.
Oh my god, no
But
skin connected!
rewinding a little bit, there is one more thing added to the Switch port that I didn't mention. If your fun value is specifically 81, if you talk to Clam Girl and then come back and talk to her again during the True Pacifist ending, she has something new to say about this mysterious Susie. So, you never met my neighbor's daughter, but please don't despair, because the time that you will meet her
It's soon.
is fast approaching.
I love that. That's sick.
That appearance, that disappearance, that sound. Before our eyes, Clam Girl had just turned into a Gaster follower. Or more accurately, a goner. Because yes, this time these new sprites are actually labeled as goners in the files, nearly confirming the theory that all of these grayscale NPCs are goners, and massively strengthening Clam Girl's connection to Gaster and the other fun events. But what could it mean that the time that we will meet Susie is fast approaching? The Switch port came out on September 18, 2018,
When did Deltarune
3
come out?
days after Undertale's 3rd anniversary. Then, a month and a half later, on October 30, the Undertale Twitter account went dark. Literally. The profile picture was just a black circle, and the name was replaced by 6 black bars.
A lot of this is, again, in that Gaster video, so I'm not saying much here. Genius from Toby from playing it all out, like the little updates where you can like tease other things and get people hyped. Get fans theorizing. I love it.
It's cold. It's as if everything
Jesus,
had
Toby.
been enveloped in a black
What is that
wind.
picture?
You didn't realize it yet, but it seems that there's someone who wants to talk to you. And there was. On the Undertale account, someone began talking. Someone who used weird spacing and all caps. Welcome. Have you been looking for me? How wonderful. I have been looking for you as well. I have something. Something I want to show you. Something I think you will find very, very interesting.
I think to play into it, Toby 100% should have done it in Wingdings. Or would that just be too obvious? Would that just be too obvious for the Gaster? I mean, this you could say that this is really obvious. He literally says very, very interesting. I feel like it'd be like full LARP, you know, if you put it all on Wingdings instead.
It is far from complete. Thus, I have a small favor to ask.
Ask
of
away.
you.
I will not buy deltarune.
Return here in 24 hours.
God damn it, I bought deltarune.
At that time, I will ask you a few questions. Then, using your responses, we will approach its realization. Thank you very much for your time. I will be in contact again soon. This was Gaster. We all knew it. The all caps, the weird spacing, the very, very interesting. The fact that the name was 6 black bars, which is not only the Gaster number, but is literally the number of letters in his name. This character that had intrigued us for so long, who we thought we knew everything there was to know about, was talking directly to us on social media.
Oh, I guess that's also a fair point, that this was back in the day when the theories were still kind of fresh. So I feel like if he put that in there, it would be a little bit too obvious. This would be more exciting. I understand why he did put in Wingdings. I think it makes sense.
Toby clarified on his personal account that it was really important for us to come back here in 24 hours because he wanted to create something new, and it all began with our feedback. So Toby was going to ask fans what they wanted him to create next? Awesome. I knew what my suggestion was going to be. Toby had promised in the Kickstarter to create some sort of comic, and that hadn't happened yet, so I
that'd
wanted
be
him to
sick.
make that. Maybe a prequel comic about the war or something that would give us maybe a few more hints about Gaster while still leaving room for theorizing, you know? So I came back the next day ready to give my feedback, and Gaster greeted us once more. Thank you for waiting so long. After all, you and I, we have both been waiting such a very long time. So to be here, finally, on the verge of connection, is quite exciting. I look forward to creating a new future with you.
2 more chapters,
Now,
Toby.
show yourself.
2 more!
Deltarune. And then 3 identical links to a website called deltarune.com. Of course, we thought nothing of it. The deltarune was a pretty important thing in Undertale, after all.
Didn't remember
We
that in
didn't know it at
Undertale.
the time, but using the Wayback Machine on this website reveals that it had existed since at least December 2015, when it only
Damn!
contained a seemingly all-black image called him.png.
Oh, right. I forgot he did just make the website, like, same time as Undertale. That he just had it up and he teased everything beforehand. I keep forgetting this man has had it planned out since, like, day 1, bro. It's not like these ideas are just coming to him in a dream after Undertale. He just has everything planned out.
When the contrast was turned up, revealed a message in all caps Wingdings saying, "This next experiment seems very, very interesting." An excerpt from entry 17. And then in December 2016, the text on the image was changed to say, "3 heroes appeared to banish the angels' heaven." But today, October 31, 2018, it contained a message from Toby asking us not to discuss on social media anything we found here for the next 24 hours.
Toby, you have to know your fan base. How can you know your fan base so well that you don't know that they're definitely gonna leak it online and like have screenshots saved, videos saved, etc.? You can't not think they're gonna do that. As much as I respect for you for trying to keep it like under wraps a bit, it's just like, unfortunately, with a fan base as big as what you had back in the day as well, not everyone's gonna listen to that. Like, there's just no way.
And a download link to an installer for a program called, in all caps, Survey Program. So he had made an entire program just to get our feedback. Cool. Opening the installer, which was labeled as being version 6.6.6, by the way, we were greeted in the terms and conditions by this simple, ominous message. You accept everything that will happen from now on.
Oh, that's
in all
awesome.
caps again.
That's awesome.
Once the survey program was installed, we opened it.
Wait, is that legal? Toby, I don't think this is legal jargon. I don't think you can put this into terms and agreements. If you accept this, I think you're signing away your soul. I don't know if we can do this, brother.
And were met with a direct continuation of the conversation we were just having on Twitter. Are you there?
Okay, so it's just the beginning of deltarune. Got it. Cool, man. Oh, that's sick.
Are we connected?
I see. Okay, so this makes so much more sense to like the carryover, right? Like when I first started deltarune and it just being this, I was so confused. I'm just like, okay, I'm talking to God. Great. I don't know what's happening. But this with the context, it makes so much more sense. Who would have thought, right?
Excellent. Truly excellent. Now, we may begin. Needless to say, this was a very elaborate and cool way to conduct a simple survey.
I agree.
Then, with a new rendition of Gaster's theme playing in the background, we were asked to create a vessel. Wow, we're even creating simple little avatars for this thing.
Dude, this must have been so fucking cool for the people who have been following Undertale and the theories for years when this came out. This must have been the fucking most hype shit ever. To see this and just go, what is happening? What does Toby have in store for us? And then I'm over here, casual fan, I just go, okay, character selection.
You acknowledge the possibility of pain and seizure? I guess? Oh, it wants my name. Phil. Oh, wait, is it asking for my, actual real IRL name now? Nah, these responses are being, uploaded somewhere and recorded, right? I'm not doing that. Just Phil again, I guess. Of course.
Again, see, I saw those and I just said, oh, silly questions.
Of course.
Funny, haha.
They are the same. Hello? What does that mean? It was becoming pretty clear that something more was going on here. And it wouldn't be long before we realized that this was not a survey program at all. This was a brand new game, one which we would soon come to know as Deltarune Chapter 1.
How funny would it be, though, if it was just a survey? A different reality where Toby just sends out that survey, gets a horrible fucking reception, and just cancels Deltarune. It'd be like the worst survey known to man. It's like, you made a program for this, bro? What's wrong with you?
And that was literally everything I could think of that you could have missed in Undertale that you might possibly want to know before playing Deltarune.
Yeah, I could safely say that I knew maybe 2% of that going in. And the other 98%, it's still boggled in my brain. It's just shoved in. W. Phil. Thank you, Phil. This is a fucking phenomenal video also. And this man does not have enough subscribers. Go check out his channel. Go subscribe there. That was fire. My brain hurts. There's way too much in there. There's a lot of lore just shoved in my brain. I just watched a movie fucking full of lore. And now I gotta reminisce over everything and think about everything. I'm glad to go over that, though, because I think I didn't get a chance to fully understand the lore of Undertale and experience everything there when I played it for the first time. I love the game. I didn't get to savor it for what it really is. I might do a replay. Honestly, I'm thinking about it. If you guys want to see me replay it, I'm down. Let me know if there's any other lore videos you want me to watch as well. And just let me know what you guys think. That's all I got. Peace.